how does this work if I own 100 acres of forest land and I've enrolled it in your program, but then I go to sell that piece of property? What does that encumbrance look like? Can I do that? Does the new owner get enrolled in the program as well? How does that look?
Matt, you want to take that?
Sure, sure. Yeah, so the program basically stays with the land under any transfer of ownership, and we definitely don't restrict anybody's ability to sell or transfer the land. Really, all that we ask is that someone just lets us know so that we can roll over the payments and everything to the new landowner at that point. We're always happy to hop on a call with the new landowner just to go over, all the program requirements and benefits and everything at that point.
Awesome. How would, and again, staying on the path of the kind of the real estate investor, the buyers that may be on the call who are looking at a piece of property, maybe haven't enrolled in maybe this is their first introduction to carbon credit programs. Matt, how would an investor or a buyer, what lens should they be looking at property? If it has forests on it, it has trees on it, what do they need to be looking for? Do they need to be looking at the percentage of the forest that's there, the height? If I'm an investor and I want to maybe look at a piece of property and capitalize on one of these opportunities, what is it that I need to have my eye open for when I'm looking at potentially purchasing a piece of property?
Yeah, yeah. Well, because we generate what are called these removal credits, a lot of the crediting potential does have to do with the amount of projected growth in that forest over time. So certainly in most cases, because of that, a tract of land in the Southeast United States would often have much higher crediting rates than, say, a tract of land in the northern Midwest states.
Mhm.
So regionally, it can vary quite a bit based on that. As far as the specifics of the forest types, things like that, I think Sarah could probably add a little bit more detail on that.
Sure. Yeah. So we say you do need to have a minimum percent canopy cover. So if the canopy cover is really, really sparse, that will just we require a minimum of 10% canopy cover for it to qualify as forest. And obviously we need that 40 acres to begin with as well to be eligible. Very, very young forests may not result in a massive amount of crediting. So it's nice to have a forest of varying ages, younger trees and older trees. So structural diversity within the forest. A forest that has been recently harvested and is still returning or regrowing will take a while to get back to the point where it's ready to issue credits. We do have a minimum diameter and a minimum height, 5 inches in diameter, 15 feet in height. So those are other things to look for. We can obviously certain parts of the property might have different ages and types of forest that will impact credit yields across the property. So we evaluate all of it. We look at everything. We look at forest management plans. We look at remote data. We look at on the ground data to really put together the best offer and the best crediting rate for us and for the landowner, so we understand what that looks like for each individual property in our assessment process.